In lieu of that, we're supposed to create that environment because that's what the Prophet ﷺ did. In lieu of having an environment to nourish Muslims, he created the environment to nourish Muslims. So we have to think about creating that environment. Maybe your home should be that environment. Wallahi, if you have a home that you don't have at least one halaqatul ilm every day, your home is dead. Your home is dead. If you don't have one time where at least maybe you sit down in the morning or the evening with your children and you read a few ayat of the Quran and a few hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, you remind each other to fear Allah. If your husband, when he leaves in the morning, you don't tell him to remember Allah. If your wife, when she goes out for whatever reason, you don't tell her to remember Allah, then your house is dead. You might as well just dig a grave and start burying yourself in that home right away. You have to have your homes to be environments to remember Allah Azza wa Jal. This would be something that a husband and a wife should do. Remember the Prophet ﷺ said, may Allah bless the woman who wakes up in the middle of the night to pray, and she wakes up her husband to pray. And if he doesn't get up, she does what? She doesn't dump the jug of water on his head. No, she sprinkles water in his face to wake him up. And if that happens, wallahi, you should get up and make dua for your wife, because your wife is a rahmah upon you. Allah has given you a mercy in your own home. The same with blessed be the man who gets up in the middle of the night and he wakes his wife up to pray, and if she doesn't wake up, he doesn't snatch the sheets out from under and toss it on the floor. No, he sprinkles her water with face and tells her to get up and remember Allah. This is how the home is supposed to be. This is how the home should be. Even the Prophet ﷺ and Aisha had this struggles at one time when she said that he was going to pray in the middle of the night, and she was kind of, she was standing in his way. She didn't want to let him get by. He's like, let me go remember my Rabb. She was like, I just like to be near you and I miss you. And she said that night he sat and he prayed so long, so much that he cried until his beard became wet. And then he cried until his lap became wet. And one of the companions came and said, Ya Rasulullah, Allah has forgiven you of your past and previous sins. Why are you putting yourself in this condition? He said, then should I not be grateful? Should I not then be grateful? You see, this is the type of iman nourishing environment the Prophet ﷺ created, even in his home. He didn't go to the masjid and pray. He prayed in his own home. Prayed in his own home and created that environment. So we need to create that environment for our children, inshaAllah, and for ourselves and for our families. We have to make our homes that first place of nourishing. You can't expect the Sunday school at the masjid to do all the work, because it's not going to be enough. Because what happens is you drop them off at Sunday school, and what do? You go shopping and do this and that and the third. So what do? They learn your example. That look, I only have to go to this while I'm young. As soon as I get old, I can drop my kids off and I can go out and do my business. No, we need to nourish that iman in our children, because children are going to inherently repeat the behavior of the people who raised them. They're going to repeat that behavior. That's the way they're infused to do so. They are infused to do as you do, not as you say. What you do is not as important as what you say. Insha'Allah.